Yakum just warming up here for the Owls. He had a pretty impressive streak in his first few games of the season. He had 2 back-to-back complete game shutouts where he seemed to look dominant. The left-handed pitcher. Sidearm release. I think that's one of the toughest things in all of baseball is to hit a pitcher lefty sidearm release. Obviously, I imagine the Huskies are going with a very similar lineup right now. They have Tom Visosky up to the plate, swung on, grounded over to Harrison Barnes. Grounds over to first, but it gets past Beon. Bad throw from Barnes. Gets past the first baseman, Beon, and Visosky's on first with nobody out. Brogans-Sio Bellinger heading up to the plate, starting in left field today. There's a rare mishap from Barnes there. On the season, he has been one of their better defenders. He's up there in his fielding percentages, is one of the highest on the team. And there's just a bad throw, just got underneath Beon. Here's a pitch from Yakum. That ball is grounded over to McHugh. Throws it over to second, throws it back to first, but both runners seem to be safe. The Huskies now have first and second quickly with nobody out. For Kyle Doan.
Third baseman, number 18, Kyle Doan.
Doan went 3 for 5 in the previous game with an RBI. One of the players the Owls could not get out. First pitch is in for a strike. Good fastball from Yakum there. I expect Yakum's going to approach this with a different type of energy. In his previous appearance, he did not have one of his better outings. That ball is swung on and fouled back. He's definitely going to try and switch it up a little bit. Maybe try some different things. Get back to his back-to-back shutout performance type level. But clearly right now, they have a bit of a struggle here. Obviously, first and second, nobody out. That ball is grounded over towards Beon, but it will go foul. That ball barely went foul. It almost looked fair from this angle. Two strikes, 2 out. That ball is swung on and fouled back. Yakum trying to get his fastball underway. Overall, just trying to show a different mix of pitches. Try and get back to what he once, seemingly dominant as he was. And here's the pitch. That ball is low. It will just get away from Callie, but won't go too far from him. Runners will remain on first and second. Here's the pitch from Yakum. That ball is swung on and lined over to right field. It'll get past Ian. It'll hit the wall. Throw it in. 1 run is scored. Second run, running around to third. He's heading home, and throw is not towards home. The Huskies take a quick 2-0 lead in the top of the first. Doan has seemingly been dominant, and he continues his dominance with a 2 RBI double. That ball is swung on over to third base line. It will go past Chatfield. Doan is rounding third. He's heading home. No throw at home, but a throw at second is not in time. Kumulane going with a double, an RBI double, immediately off to a 3-0 lead for Southern Maine. Immediately a tough first inning for Yakum. Yakum just trying to regroup himself. Southern Maine is knowing exactly what's coming from the starting pitcher. And here's the pitch. That ball inside for a ball. Huskies immediately off to such a hot start. This is something that they have been working on. Clearly did a lot of scouting on Yakum. And know that Yakum is really good at throwing his off-speed pitches. He's a tough-to-read pitcher, but his off-speed pitches are near impossible to hit unless you really read him out of his hand, which it's a sidearm release, which is already difficult enough to read that kind of pitch. That ball is grounded foul. It'll be a 2-1 count. One man on, second, none man out. Immediately a runner in scoring position, possibly making this a 4-0 game quickly. Seemingly like we just started this and is already such a high lead here for Southern Maine. Pitch from Yakum. That ball is cut on and missed. 2-2 count. Nope, never mind. That was a strike 3. Now Seymour will be heading up to the plate.
Designated hitter number 34, Sam Seymour.
Seymour went 1 for 5 in a previous game with 2 RBIs. It was a gapper double. Ball's first pitch is taken for ball 1. Pitch is outside. Ball 2. Cali giving him a bit of a sign to cool down. Yakum just throwing some fast pitches, not really getting fully set in his motion. Ball is in for strike 1. Just like the first game, beautiful day here in Keene, New Hampshire at the Owls Athletic Complex in Keene State. That ball swung on, grounded to Barnes. Throw over to first. We'll get him, but Cumulane will move over to third for the first out of the inning. Up to bat, Jonathan Wilson.
Second baseman number 8, Jonathan Wilson.
Jonathan Wilson batting .238 on the season. 15 RBIs. He went 0 for 4 in the first game of this doubleheader. Here's the pitch. That ball outside for a ball. Off to a hot start. Maine just trying to drive in another run. That ball is driven over towards third base. Foul. It almost looked like it hit the foul line over on the third base side, but Yakum lucks out. Maybe try and get a different use of his pitch. That ball is grounded foul for strike 2. 1-2 count, 2 out. Man at third. Yakum just trying to get out of this really tough first inning. And here's the pitch. The ball is cut on up the middle for a base hit. Runner will head home. Jonathan Wilson has picked himself up an RBI single. Cumulane will head home. Now you got a runner on first with 2 outs for Anthony Poole. Anthony Poole went 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout in the previous game. Ball pitches in for strike 1. Yakum really just trying to work now. 4-0 Huskies versus the Owls. Ball's outside for ball 1. 1-1 count. want to see if he implements more of his off-speed pitches. 'Cause he is so good at delivering effective off-speed pitches. That ball is fouled off for strike 2. Yakum really is going to try to really get out of this terrible first inning. I mean, no pitcher wants to open like this. That pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-2 count. Yakum, this is a off thing for Yakum. Yakum is normally dominant through the first 3 or 4 innings. About another foul tip away. Fighting is Anthony Poole to stay alive here. Not much of a lead off first base. Here's the pitch. That ball's in for strike 3, and the side is retired. Four runs, and that'll do it for the top of the first on the Owls Media Network. We are back on the Owls Media Network. Clay Robbins on the mound for the Huskies. 3.89 ERA, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. 38 strikeouts, 14 walks, 17 earned runs. He is another pair, one of their dominant pitchers. As much the Owls are used to the righty, which was Afton in the previous game, now dealing with a lefty. This lefty's got some heat to him. He throws the fastball more than any other pitch. In the scouting report for Robbins, just try and rely on your defense. This Southern Maine defense has had their fair share of struggles, but have still been good. Last game, they played amazing defensively, stealing any hit possibility that the Owls attempted to get. But here's Clay Robbins just trying show a lot of his fastball, which seems to be his best pitch. Pure heat for this Southern Maine Husky team. Batting first and leading off, Tommy Ehlers. Your usual suspects will be starting the 3. Tommy Ehlers, Hamilton Barnes, and Jonathan Chatfield. Your usual guys batting 1, 2, and 3. Ehlers, a center fielder. Ehlers batting over 300. Had a tough first game, went 0 for 4, a lot like a lot of his other teammates, considering how dominant Afton was in Game 1. Ehlers, I always say this, he is one of the better type of leadoff hitters. He gets on base. He's a contact guy. He's who you want leading off your order. And despite their continuous struggles in this 10-game losing streak, the bright spot is players like Ehlers and Chatfield. That ball is grounded up the middle for a base hit. Ehlers gets on the base pads real quick to try and bounce back from being down 4-0. Batting second, your speedster, Hamilton Barnes. Hamilton Barnes has only been picked off 1 time. But as we talk about stolen bases, we talk about Hamilton Barnes a lot. We don't talk about players like Tommy Ehlers as much. He has 9 stolen bases on the season, his 13 attempts. He's speedy on the base pads. He's taken a little bit of a lead off of first, but goes right back in a throwback to first. I think Clay Robbins knows that Tommy Ehlers is extremely fast. And having them back to back, Hamilton Barnes and Tommy Ehlers, the contact and speed alone is a coach's dream. Obviously, Hamilton Barnes had his struggles. He went 0 for 4 in the previous Game 1 of this doubleheader. And here's the pitch, and that ball swung on and foul. Hamilton Barnes having a good opportunity here to try and get a runner on the board quick. Ayler stays at first. Pitch is grounded over to second baseman. Flips over to short. Back to first. Double play. Good flip there from Wilson to Luxa to Pike.
Third baseman, number 23, Jonathan Chatfield.
And here comes Jonathan Chatfield, the player you want at the plate. If you are this Owls team, you have a runner on. You don't have a runner on first anymore, but you definitely want him at your plate. He's just a power hitter, in my opinion, the best power hitter on this Owls team. 6 homers, leads the team in RBIs. Ball's in for a strike, 1-1 count, 2 outs. That ball another inside for a strike. 1-2 count. And here's the pitch from Robbins. That ball's cut on and missed. He'll strike him out. And they'll do it here as the side is retired on the Owls Media Network.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships, attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Back on the Owls Media Network. Yakum is back out on the mound. Having a tough first inning, allowed 4 runs on 3 hits. Really just trying to bounce back from that. Yamek Luxa went 1 for 3 in the previous game with 2 RBIs. One of the main contributors to a dominant Huskies win. First pitch is in for a strike. Yakum just trying to see if he can mix more of his pitches, try and throw batters off a bit. That pitch was just outside for a ball, 1-1 count. Nobody out. The ball swung on over to McHugh, makes the play, and that'll be the first out. Now back to the top of the order. Tom Visosky, who really, he did play decent. He played pretty well. He went, 3 for 4 in the previous game. Showed bunt there, but ball went outside for ball 1. Yeah, come off to a quick start. That ball's cut on over to deep left field. Back goes Barrett. Goes over his head. Visosky goes in for another hit for Visosky on the day. He has just been electric.
Left fielder, number 10, Brogan Sorrell Belanger.
Speaking of players who had good days, how about Belanger? He went 3 for 5 with an RBI, That ball is swung on, popped up. Beyond has a beat on it. And he'll put it away for out number 1 in the top of the second.
Third baseman number 18, Kyle Doohan.
Kyle Doohan heading up to the plate. He really started it off with that RBI double he had in the previous at bat that drove in 2 runs. A quick start for this Huskies offense. Runner on second just edges it off. Runner, that ball is hit on. Foul. Kozowski on second. Probably go for a little bit of a lead. He does have 3 stolen bases on the season. Pitches just outside for ball number 1. 1-2 count. 1 man on, 2 men out. In the top of the second. A lot of 2s. Pitches popped up. Callie trying to get a hold of it. And makes the play. And that'll do it as the Huskies are retired. We'll head right back to you on the bottom of the second on the Owls Media Network.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
We're back for the bottom of the second. Josh Bion is due up for the Owls. Bion went 1 for 4 in the game 1 of this doubleheader series. One of their few hits that they were able to get off of Afton. Aftim. See, now Robbins is out on the mound. He allowed that 1 hit from Ehlers, but quickly turned into a double play in the first, which is unfortunate for this Owls offense. They able to quickly get a runner on, but honestly, I think the Owls are going to walk into this game with a little bit of a different attitude offensively. Actually, pitching-wise, they already allowed 4 runs. Not exactly the best way to start your game, but y'all can quickly bounce back, and although it did allow a double over Barrett's head, no runs amounted to it. It was able to get out of that little bit of a pickle. Robbins, left-handed on left-handed. Lefty versus lefty. Beyond swings, and that ball goes over the head of the shortstop. He'll have a single. Already quickly, runner on first. For one of the players we definitely talk about.
The right fielder, number 25, Brendan Eaton.
Brendan Eaton has become one of the fan favorites for this Owls team. Although in his last game, he went 0 for 3 in game 1 of this doubleheader. Pure contact guy you want backing out the heart of your order. Players like Chatfield, Bion, Ehlers are already really good, but having Eaton seemingly different. That ball swung on and fouled off. Ian have an opportunity here to maybe drive in a run. Ball is outside for ball 1. Robbins just trying to line up some pitches here so he can get out of this, maybe get a ball on the ground for double play. Oh, slips on the ground, and Ian made it to first. Went for a hit and run, but Beon was able to make it a second. No throw, and tough slip there from Pike. Was able to get not get the runner on first. But now a really serious opportunity here for the Owls. Malik Pearson heading up to the play. A player you don't see it much often is Malik Pearson. He's batting .250 on the season and his 4 at-bats. Doesn't play too much, but he's getting the opportunity here to maybe drive in a run here for the Owls offense. That ball is cut on and driven to left field, but it will be popped up. And Bellinger was able to make the play there. Another opportunity. Evan McHugh with a runner on first and second. 1 out. If you're Robbins here, you're just trying to get the ball on the ground. Maybe flip another double play like they did in the first. McHugh didn't play in the first game. He's batting .230 on the season, but he is great in the field. That ball is driven towards right field, but Vazovsky will make the play. Throws over to second. Will not be in time as Beon makes it back. Here comes Evan Calley. He's heading up to the plate. The player they also use as a relief pitcher, which I always think is interesting, how both their catchers are also used as relief pitchers. That will grow a team's chemistry vastly. Calley batting .190 on the season with 4 RBIs. And here's the pitch from Robbins, and that ball is fouled off for a strike 1. Big opportunity here. But there is 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that ball is down the middle for a strike. Good fastball there from Robbins. Just able to find it over the plate. Robbins sets, fires. Outside for ball 1. Quickly running on first and second. 2 out. In the bottom of the second, that ball is cut on. Past the diving Wilson. Runners heading home. Beon will make it. The Owls score a run. Wilson nearly made the play there at second, and it just went past his glove, and the Owls get a run early, a much-needed run. They didn't score any runs in their previous at-bat, in the previous game, Mark Barrett now up to the plate. Starting left field, that ball just went over his head in the previous half inning. Owls another opportunity here, runner on first and third with 2 out. And here's the pitch. That ball just outside. Try to paint the corner there. Robbins has been good at that in his previous appearances. He's really good at painting a corner. Also helps that you have players like Humulainen behind the plate, who's really good at framing and a very good defensive catcher. Here's the pitch, and that ball is cut on. Foul. There's a 2-1 count here for Mark Barrett. Mark Barrett batting .238 so far in this season. 2 RBIs. Throw back to first, but they got him in a bit of a pickle. The runner heads home. The throw is not in time, and Ian is able to head home. The Owls score their second run. They did this against Plymouth State. I believe it was 3 times in those games where they send a runner from first. They had the runner in first in a pickle. The pitcher Robbins over to first and was able to really get him. But they realized that the runner Eaton was heading home and the throw was not in time. Now 4-2 Owls. Now with the runner on first, because they were not able to get him out in that bit of a pickle. Mark Bear setting up. And here's the pitch from Robbins. And that's cut on and missed. For strike two. 2-2 count. Bottom of the second with 2 outs. And up bat is a player wearing number 2. And here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Oh, foul off. Evan Callie set off and ran there, but ball was not in play. Possible opportunity here. See if you can get one down the line for a possible RBI. And here's the pitch. That ball is outside for ball 3. Full count here. With the runner on first, the runner first will be going. Mark Barrett is going to get a pitch to hit here, because you do not want to face Ehlers with a runner in scoring position. Pitch from Robbins. That ball's cut on and missed, and that'll strike him out. We'll be back with you in the top of the 3rd inning on the Owls Media Network.
Our campus can get pretty quiet during the summer when most students are home, but that doesn't mean it's completely empty. Students are working and learning here year-round. There's tour guides and student workers like me, and students are interning all over the Monadnock region. Many of our majors require hands-on learning, and our students are working as reporters, videographers, environmental advocates, and scientific researchers to gain experience. Here's a look at what's happening right here in our city this summer.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Yakum allowed 4 hits so far, 4 runs. Last inning he did allow a double, but didn't amount. Bit of a meeting on the mound here. Seems like Yakum got pinged by the catcher's throw over to first. But he seems to be fine. The Owls are definitely hoping he's fine. He is one of their better pitchers, especially with the pitcher Phil Nichols is out. And here's Yakum for the pitch, and that ball is cut on and popped up. McHugh seems to have a beat on it, and he'll put it away for out number 1. McHugh known for his good defense. But here we go, and we have Pike heading up to the dish. First baseman Pike. The Owls did have a bit of an advantage where they weren't able to get Ehlers at first due to a bit of an error from Pike, I believe. Pike went 0 for 5 in Game 1 of this doubleheader set. But Pike has been really good over the season. He's almost batting .300. This is 10 RBIs. He just gets on base. One of those players who have a lot of patience, who you can use to get on base, and is really a big supplier for this Huskies team. Yakum with the pitch. That ball is grounded over to Yakum. Yakum throws it over to first, which will get him. And that will be
Designated hitter number 34.
the second out of this inning. Here comes Cam Seymour. Batting in the 6th spot, which is surprising. Probably because it is a lefty-lefty matchup, which is a hitter's nightmare. In the first game, he batted 1 for 5. He had an RBI double. And he drives that one foul. Seymour, known as one of their better power hitters. He does have 6 home runs on the season. Looking to make it 7. Fouled off. 0-2 count. 2 out. No men on. In the top of the 3rd. Umpire cleaning off home plate. Waiting for Yakum's delivery. Yakum with the pitch. Ball just misses. For ball number 1. Well, it's right down the middle. First strike 3 as the Huskies are retired. We'll be right back with you in the bottom of the 3rd on the Owls Media Network.
I remember writing in the 2nd grade that I wanted to be a teacher, and I always knew that I was going to be a teacher. I started school a year early, and it created challenges for me because I wasn't able to pick up material as fast as the other students. Outside of school, my Jaju would quiz me on my math facts and read with me. It showed me that even though I had challenges in school, there were still people who wanted to help me. In high school, I knew I had to work harder than everyone else to get the same results, but I had teachers that would help me in subject areas outside of their own because they could relate to how I felt. The way these interactions with my Jaju and my teachers made me feel while I was learning is the inspiration for how I'd like my students to feel. I'm able to build relationships and be vulnerable with my students when they're struggling because I've been in their shoes and I know exactly how they feel. Being able to relate to them from my own experience has become a massive asset in becoming a teacher.
We are back, and Robbins is back out on the mound. He has been really good this inning despite allowing 2 runs in the previous inning. It was off one of Coach Blood's little tricks where he sends the runner out first to trick the defense, and the runner heads home. He's done it countless times, and it seems to have a very good efficiency rate because you either steal a bag at second or you get a quick run. Obviously, I believe it was Callie who was taking off there, but he wasn't able to get Callie either, so the runner went back to first. But now we have Ehlers up to the dish. First pitch is lined, foul. In the first game of this doubleheader set, a fan made a nice barehanded catch on a very hard-hit ball. Got to give that fan a lot of credit. It's one of the tougher things to do. Here's the pitch, and awkward swing from Ehlers makes it a 0-2 count. Ehlers, like we previously mentioned, one of their better contact hitters, had a single in his previous at-bat. Ball's in the dirt for ball 1. Ehlers has been nothing short of impressive. Coach Blood definitely noticed that, keeping him in the leadoff role this entire season. Second ball is also in the dirt for ball number 2. 2-2 count. In the bottom of the 3rd. That ball is cut on over to the shortstop. Luxa throws it on to first to Pike, and out get him.
Second baseman number 1, Hamilton Barnes.
Here comes Hamilton Barnes, who has been on his own cold streak, but we can't dispute how good he is when he is on the base pads. He's just got to have his own patience. That's the key with this whole Owls team. They thrive when they have runners on the base pads. That ball is dribbled over to third. No, he's over to shortstop. Luke grabs it, throws it over to first. And now we'll get Hamilton Barnes. Back-to-back groundouts here for the Owls.
Third baseman, number 23, Jonathan Chatfield.
Well, that will send up the dangerous Jonathan Chatfield, who can seem where you can almost homer at any opportunity he wants. Waits for a pitch. He said in an interview he waits for the fastball. Robbins is going to give him that fastball. It's one of his main pitches, but he has a lot of velocity on that fastball. It also sinks a little bit. Pitch is in the dirt for ball one. That ball is grounded over to second. Wilson fields it, throws it over to first, and the Owls are retired. We'll be right back with you on the top of the fourth inning on the Owls Media Network.
College sports fans, get ready for game day with officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop, ncaa.com/shop. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headwear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at ncaa.com/shop.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships, attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Jake Yakum is on the mound here once again for the Owls, up to 49 on his pitch count. Allowed those 4 runs in the first inning, but hasn't allowed anything much since. They did have that double in the second inning, but I believe he's been really great since. First pitch is in, is out for ball one. Swung on and missed for strike number 1. Jonathan Wilson up to the plate. Had a decent play at second to end the inning in the last half. That ball is cut on, grounded over to Bion, who dives, makes the play, bobbles it a little bit, throws it over to Yakum, but is able to make the play for out number 1. Up to the plate now, Anthony Poole, like his first name. Anthony Poole, 0 for 1 on the day. It was one of Yakum's strikeouts. One of his 3 strikeouts. First pitch is grounded over to Yakum, goes past him, over to battle for the ball. McHugh and Barnes weren't able to. He decided he was going for the ball. Barnes called for it, but was unable to really get a hand on it. So now the Huskies now have a runner on first with 1 out for Luxa. Luxa went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs in game 1 of this doubleheader set. Gotta give props to Luxa. He has played considerably well for being the 9th hole guy. Yakum with the pitch is just outside for ball number 1. 1-1 count, 1 out, man on first in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch from Yakum. Takes off. Runner goes to second, but it'll be an inaccurate throw. Callie wasn't able to get the throw off. And Anthony Poole has himself a stolen base. Now with no opportunity to get a double play, which Joachim has thrived on forcing double plays in his starts this season. Ball is cut on, dribbled over to Joachim. Joachim throws over to first, and that will get the runner. For the second out of the inning, good bounce back from Joachim. That error from Hamilton Barnes resulted in a runner going on the base pads. And here's Joachim with the pitch. That ball is grounded over to Hamilton Barnes. Hamilton fields it and throws it over to first, which will retire the Huskies. They got one hit and leave one man left on the Owls Media Network.
Our campus can be pretty quiet during the summer, but we're still here to show you what your life at Keene State will be like. I'm Emma, a tour guide in the admissions office, and I'm here to answer your questions and show you the parts of our community you're interested in seeing most. You can book a tour at keene.edu/visit or reach out to any of our admissions staff to find out when you can come see our home. Here's a sneak peek at what a tour is like.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Clay Robbins has been pitching significantly well through 3.5 innings. He's allowed 2 runs, one of them off of some Justin Blood trickery. The player who really started that 2-run inning in the second, Bion, is now up to the plate. He's 1 for 1 on the day, had a nice single earlier. And here's the pitch. That ball's in for strike number 1. It's the bottom of the 4th is underway. Robbins just has to continue what he has been doing so far in this game. Second pitch is in the ground for ball 1. Just keep throwing off this Owls team with a mixture of off speed and his good velocity on his fastball. Here's the pitch. That ball's in for strike number 2. Robbins have an opportunity to strike out Bion. Pitch is in the dirt for ball number 2. And pitch is fouled off from Bion. Owls getting the offense to work a lot better. They've been a lot more patient at the plate, just trying to get on base, which the Owls, the second they get on base, it seems to that's where their dominance starts. That pitch is just outside for ball number 3. Full count here for Josh Bion. And here's a pitch from Robbins. That ball is cut on and swung to left center field. Both outfielders chasing after it. And Belanger will make the play.
The right fielder, number 25,
Brendan Ian up to the dish. He also had a nice hit that really started that bit of rally that the Owls had in the bottom of the second. Pitch from Robbins. That ball is grounded over towards Luxa. That ball gets away from Pike over at first. Ian will head towards second. Now the Owls have a runner in scoring position. The Owls with a nice opportunity here for Malik Pearson, who's coming up when is 0 for 1 on the day. He had a fly out in his previous at bat.
Hitter number 42, Malik Pearson.
Malik Pearson with an opportunity to maybe get an RBI for this Owls team. Possibly make it a one-score game if he gets it into play. Pitch from Robbins. That ball's in the dirt. Eaton with a sizable lead off second. 4-2 game. 1-0 count. One man out. Pearson sets, but that ball will be out for ball 2. Pearson does not close his stance. He's going full swing. It's in for a strike. 2-1 count. Pearson with a nice opportunity here. They do have speed on the base pads. Ian is definitely faster. He doesn't steal many bases, but he does have speed. He has 2 steals on the season in his 2 attempts. Pitch is cut on and missed for strike number 2. 2-2 count. Pearson is trying to find the tree line out behind the wall. See if they can at least tie it up here. The ball is down the middle for strike 3. Now McHugh is up to the dish. Evan McHugh 0 for 1 on the day. McHugh just has to make decent contact here. He could possibly drive an Ian at second. Ball's in the dirt for a ball. Pass ball goes by the catcher. Ian goes over to third. Now a really prime opportunity for McHugh here. Runner on third, 2 outs. Kumulainen was unable to find that ball. It went over towards the left side, towards the Owls dugout. He was unable to find it. Owls take advantage of it and get a runner on third. Here's the pitch, and that ball's outside for ball number 2. And here's the pitch from Robbins. Ball's cut on towards center field, but it'll be right to the center fielder, Anthony Poole. And the Owls are retired in the bottom of the 4th. We head to the top of the 5th with the Huskies leading 4-2 on the Owls Media Network.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
We are back on the Owls Media Network. Jake Yakum is out on the mound once again. Only allowed 5 hits. He has 3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 4 runs total. Huskies have a 4-2 lead in the top of the 5th.
The left fielder, number 10, Brogan Searle Belanger.
Belanger up to the dish. 0 for 2 on the day. But an opportunity to get on the base pads, possibly add more insurance runs. That ball is lined towards Hamilton Barnes, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Yakum off to a quick start. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Kyle Dewin up to the dish right now. He's 1 for 2 on the day with 2 RBIs. The ball is lined up the middle for a base hit. His amazing day in both Game 1 and Game 2 continues with his second hit of the day. The second hit of the game, his 5th hit of the day in 7 at-bats.
The catcher, number 7, Jason Kumalainen.
Here's Jason Kumulainen. Shows bunt. Goes right towards Chatfield. Chatfield makes the play. Throws it over to first, but his bad throw, and he catches him, brings Beyond off the base paths. And now Huskies have a runner on first and second with 1 out. And here is Pike, the first baseman. Ardo Pike. Arlo Pike is 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout, but he has a prime opportunity here to extend the lead for the Huskies. That ball's in for strike number 1. 2 men on, 1 man out in the top of the 5th. And here's the pitch from Yakum. The ball's popped up towards Chatfield. Chatfield trying to get it, but I think it would just go foul. Strike number 2 here for Pike. Despite allowing about 4 runs, Yakum has been really good on the mound. The way he mixes his off-speed pitches, sidearm lefty release, it's really tough to hit. Here's the pitch from Yakum. That ball is in for strike number 3 as it will retire Pike. But here's Cam Seymour, who's not the face you really want to see right now if you're Yakum. Despite being 0 for 2 on the day, he does have 2 RBIs in game number 1. Yakum with his fourth strikeout on the day. 2 men out, the ball is popped up over towards Hamilton Barnes, who seems to have a beat on it. Nope, McHugh calls for it, and he'll make the play to retire the Huskies. Yakum with a really good bounce back inning. And that will do it here in the top of the 5th, right to the bottom of the 5th. And we'll be right back with you on the Owls Media Network.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships, attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
We are back. Robbins out on the mound, up to 49 pitches. Evan Kelly due up. Robbins has pitched real well despite allowing 2 runs. But there is a bit of action in the Keene State bullpen. Joe Schley-Huber. And here's the pitch. That ball is down the middle for a strike. Good fastball there from Robbins. Doesn't seem to have lost it at all. Very efficient with his pitches. He's really good at painting corners. His pitch, that one is down the middle for strike number 2. 1-2 count here for Callie. Ball is cut on, dribbled over towards the pitcher Robbins. He'll flip it over to Pike, and it will get Callie. Coming up to the plate, Mark Barrett. Mark Barrett is 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Had an opportunity there to possibly drive in a couple more runs in the bottom of the second. Was unable to do so. But now in the bottom of the 5th, where he is fast and an opportunity here to possibly get a runner on the base pads. Ball's cut on and missed for strike number 1. 1-1 count. 1 out. Shows bunt. Brings over to the pitcher Robbins. He'll flip it over to Pike. And he won't get there in time. That looked extremely similar to the previous play. Almost identical. Grounder over to Robbins. He'll flip it over to Pike. But this time, Barrett is able to get on the base pads, which is huge for the Owls right now. Because right now, you have Tommy Ehlers heading up to the plate. Ehlers has played significantly well this season, as we continue to mention. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Had a single in his first at-bat. Back over to first. Not in time. Barrett is mainly used as a pinch runner and also an occasional starter when they need him to be. Pitch from Robbins. That ball's outside for ball number 1. Throw over to first, not in time. Robbins making sure Barrett remains at first base. Barrett with a decent lead off first. Robbins with the pitch. Ball's cut on towards left field. Over towards... That ball's gone! Home run for Tommy Ehlers. Ho, ho, ho. Doctor. Tommy Ehlers with a long fly ball, which will tie up the game at 4. That is huge for this Owls offense. That might have lit a fire underneath the Owls to possibly get this offense going. Now they have an opportunity to take a lead. Robbins tried to sneak a fastball inside, and Ehlers just went with it. Sent it right over the 385 sign over and left. What an electric moment for this team. But now we have Hamilton Barnes, who will cut on and miss the first pitch for a strike. Robbins trying to ignore what just happened. Second pitch just outside for ball number 1. The only players that have home runs on this Owls team, Ehlers and Chatfield. Cut on and miss for strike number 2. Hamilton Barnes is trying to get on base. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Caught on and missed. They're saying that ball didn't hit the dirt, so Hamilton Barnes did not have a chance to run over to first, but it will strike him out. Jonathan Chatfield is now up to the dish. He's 0 for 2 on the day.
Third baseman, number 23, Jonathan Chatfield.
Jonathan Chatfield, a lot of power compared to what Tommy Ehlers just did. Socked that one deep left. Ball is in there for strike number 1. The ball's high for ball number 1. Here's the pitch from Robbins. That ball just inside for strike number 2. Robbins showing a very much mix of pitches towards Chatfield. He only gave Ehlers a fastball. That ball is cut on towards the left field side, but foul. Chatfield staying alive in this at-bat. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. 4-4 game. Here's a pitch from Robbins. That ball is outside. 2-2 count. Cut on and miss from Chatfield. They'll strike him out as the Owls are retired. Obviously, they got 2-run homer from Tommy Ehlers. And we'll head to you on the top of the 6th on the Owls Media Network.
Our campus can get pretty quiet during the summer when most students are home, but that doesn't mean it's completely empty. Students are working and learning here year-round. There's tour guides and student workers like me, and students are interning all over the Monadnock region. Many of our majors require hands-on learning, and our students are working as reporters, videographers, environmental advocates, and scientific researchers to gain experience. Here's a look at what's happening right here in our city this summer.
We're back. Yakum's out on the mound. Despite allowing that 4-run inning in the first, he's allowed a big goose egg from 2 through 6. He has been seemingly elite since then. Just a lot of times when a pitcher hasn't gone in a while, they have a little bit of jitters and aren't able to really get that first batter out. But now it's on the hands of second baseman Jonathan Wilson. Jonathan Wilson, 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Wilson been one of their better hitters in this lineup today. Yakum went for a quick pitch. There's a strike. Jonathan Wilson was not ready in the box. And the coach Flaherty is not happy. Jonathan Wilson was in the box, just was not looking at Yakum. Yakum noticed that, and he went for a quick pitch. It was down the middle for a strike. Jonathan Wilson, so what are they going to do here? Coach Blood having a conversation with the umpire, the home plate umpire. Jonathan Wilson was in the box there. He did not called time by the time the pitch came in. So technically that should be a strike. When you enter the box as a batter, you're supposed to be ready. Interesting conversation between the umpire and Coach Blood. Coach Blood trying to show the strike call. Coach Blood arguing the strike call here. Coach Blood making sure he gets the strike call here. The umpires believe is saying that that pitch is not going to be a strike. But they're not calling that one a strike, so we'll go back to Yakum. And then continue this game with Jonathan Wilson at the plate here. 0-0 count, no man out. First pitch. In there for a strike. Second pitch. Just outside for a ball. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch from Yakum. That ball is outside for a ball. Huskies dugout making sure to try and get in Yakum's head. Here's the pitch. That ball's caught on and missed for strike number 2. Yakum just trying to get that first pitch from controversial first pitch out of his head. That ball is cut on, driven to left field. Mark Bennett chasing after it. It will get down at the wall. Mark Bennett throws it into McHugh. McHugh gets in. It will be a double for Jonathan Wilson.
Center fielder number 12, Anthony Poole.
Anthony Poole up to the dish. 1 for 2 on the day. Had a strikeout, but he did get on the base pads, which ended out, I believe it was a steal he did end up getting. Here's the pitch. Poole shows bunt. Yakum fields it. Chatfield gets it. Misses it, though. Unable to get it. Chatfield tweaks his ankle a bit going for that ball. Chatfield was unable to throw the ball. Now they're going to check in on Chatfield. Huskies have a run out first and third with nobody out. Prime opportunity for Luxa. Luxa's 0 for 2 on the day. They're going to quickly check out and make sure Chatfield is okay. Here's running full speed to try and get that bunt. Great bunt there laid by Anthony Poole. He has seemingly perfectly down the left field line. Chatfield seems fine. He's going to run it off, head over to back to his position at third base. But it seems like he does have a limp towards him. If you are Luxa right now, do you lay a bunt down the third base line, try and use that injury in your favor? We'll have to see. Like I said, runner on first and third with a good bunt from Anthony Poole. Here's the pitch from Yakum. That ball is in there for strike number 1. It's an interesting top of the 6th inning. Tie game, 4-4. Here's the pitch from Yakum, and that ball is grounded towards Chatfield. Chatfield ends up with it. Throws it over second, gets him, throws it over first, does not, but the Huskies are able to take the lead 5-4. It's huge there for the Huskies. Now having the lead. Visosky is up to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day. No one can discount how much of an opportunity this is. Runner takes off for second. Hamilton Barnes went to go cover second for the stolen base, and the ground ball grounded right towards Hamilton Barnes. Now the Huskies have first and third with 1 out. Again, another opportunity here to maybe take a 2-run lead. And they're going to do it on the back of Belanger. Belanger over 3 on the day. Coach Blood coming in. It seems like this is going to be the end of the day for Jake Yakum. Seems like Joe Schlehuber is going on to pitch. We'll be right back with you on the Owls Media Network.
I remember writing in the 2nd grade that I wanted to be a teacher, and I always knew that I was going to be a teacher. I started school a year early, and it created challenges for me because I wasn't able to pick up material as fast as the other students. Outside of school, my Jaju would quiz me on my math facts and read with me. It showed me that even though I had challenges in school, there were still people who wanted to help me. In high school, I knew I had to work harder than everyone else to get the same results, but I had teachers that would help me in subject areas outside of their own because they could relate to how I felt. The way these interactions with my Jaju and my teachers made me feel while I was learning is the inspiration for how I'd like my students to feel. I'm able to build relationships and be vulnerable with my students when they're struggling because I've been in their shoes and I know exactly how they feel. Being able to relate to them from my own experience has become a massive asset in becoming a teacher.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Joe Schlehuber is taking over the pitcher's mound for the top of the 6th inning. 9.45 ERA, 10 strikeouts, and 7 earned runs. Schlehuber is normally put in situations where the game is close to over, but they have an opportunity here to possibly get out of this pickle that they are in with a runner on 3rd and 1st with only 1 out. If you're Schlehuber right now, you want to get the ball on the ground. See if you can turn a double play and get out of this jam. Schlehuber, known for mainly his off-speed pitches. He throws a mean sinking fastball and a really good curveball. I was talking about this earlier. I believe it was in Game 1. The play of Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye. And warming up music, gotta respect it. Opportunity here for the Owls. Not for the Owls, for the Huskies. Belanger. Belanger up to the dish. 0 for 3 today. Here's the pitch from Schlehuber outside for ball number 1. Here's the pitch. The ball is skied out and foul. Not much of a lead off first base from Visosky. Belanger looking for his pitch. Normally a fastball hitter, but he can go the opposite way. Runner goes, but is fouled off. 1-2 count, 1 out. Try to get a hit and run going for this Huskies team. Not much of a lead off first. Runner goes. Pitch is driven over towards center field. Ehlers has a beat on it, and he'll put it away. Runner comes home, and a no-throw home, and it is now 6-4 Huskies. Coming up is Doan.
Third baseman, number 18, Kyle Doan.
Doan comes into this game 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He's the perfect player you want right now with a runner on first and 2 out. He has, despite having 2 hits this game, he has 5 hits on the day in 6 at-bats. Correction, 5 hits on the day on 8 at-bats. Equally as impressive still. Opportunity here. Here's the pitch. That ball's high for a ball. 2-0 count here. Pitch is cut on and missed for strike number 1. Visosky has speed on the base pads. He has tried to steal twice. Each time the ball was either tipped or put into play for a sacrifice fly. Here's the pitch. Takes off again. Throws over to second. Not in time. McHugh dropped the ball. Now with the runner in scoring position on second. 3-1 count with 2 outs. Another opportunity. That big opportunity here for Doan now. He's played real well. Stops Schlehuber for a second. Make sure he knows the count. 3-1. Umpires coming together. Umpires discussing the current count. They've confirmed it is a 3-1 count. Coach Bud coming out to see what they were talking about. Coach Bud making sure none of his players were robbed. Discussing possibly the play at second on that stolen base. Coach Bud making sure he gets his word through to make sure the umpire knows what's going on. Callie heads out to the mound for Joe Schlehuber to see if they could talk strategy for the next at-bat, or for this up-and-coming at-bat. Coach Bud making sure his voice is heard. Second base umpire walks over, calming down the Owls dugout. Conversation on the mound. See what they're talking about. Probably the current situation of the game. Umpire seems to be back set. Catcher heads back behind the plate. 3-1 count, as we now confirm. And here's the pitch from Schlehuber. That ball is grounded up the middle towards McHugh. McHugh grounds it, throws it over to first, which will get him and retire the Huskies. Huskies scored 2 this inning and left 1 man on. We'll be right back with you for the bottom of the 6th on the Owls Media Network.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Robbins is out on the mound in 5.5 innings. 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. He has pitched very well despite allowing the home run to Ehlers in the previous inning. The Owls would like to repeat that. Obviously, they need to just get players on base to see if they can do their trickery, or they can possibly drive in a run here. But it is all skeptical as we have Josh Bion at the plate. They have 2 arms in the bullpen. Warming up for the Owls. Got it. Looks like we have Shea Zena warming up in the bullpen, and same with Troy Brennan. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch, just outside. 1-1 count. 6-4 game in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch, and that ball's in the dirt for ball 2. Two-one count for Josh Bion. Here's the pitch from Robbins. That ball is in there for strike number 2. Bion with an opportunity here. Here's the pitch. That ball is cut on and missed for a strikeout. That'll be Robbins' 6th strikeout of the game. And here comes Ian. Ian is 1 for 2 on the day. Ian known for being really good when he gets up to the plate. Known for driving in runs and stealing base pads. Ian with a prime opportunity to maybe make some noise here for the Owls offense. That pitch is in for strike 1. Here's the pitch from... The ball will go foul. A pitch from Robbins. Owls just trying to wake up their offense. Robbins just trying to make sure this game doesn't go out of hand to possibly give the Owls the lead or make it close. Umpire stops it to recheck his book about what the count is. It is a 1-2 count with 1 out. And here's the pitch from Robbins. That ball's inside for ball 2. Now they're calling that a strike 3 for Eaton. That was an interesting call. That ball was very much inside, but it must have just touched the inside of the plate. The Owls dugout was speaking. Umpire takes off his face mask to let them know he's not. Coach Blood is now walking over to the home plate umpire, saying that was most definitely inside, which I'll have to agree with Coach Blood here. It was an inside pitch. Coach Blood making sure to get his voice heard for the umpire that was a bad call. But nonetheless, we have Malik Pearson, 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Here's the pitch. That ball's outside for ball 2. 2-0 count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Robbins working like usual. Up to 77 pitches, 78 pitches. That ball is lined over towards the shortstop. Throws over to Pike, and that'll do it. That was Luxa over at short. And the Owls are retired. No runs, no hits, no men left on the Owls Media Network.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships, attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Back on the Owls Media Network, Joe Schley-Huber back out on the mound, up to 9 pitches. Was able to get the Owls out of that little bit of a jam they were in the previous inning. They did allow 2 runs. We're in the top of the 7th. In comes Jason Cumulainen. The catcher. He is 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Having himself a really good day. That ball is flied up towards left field, but that one will just go foul. That was a long fly ball. End up in the soccer field over and left. Nice 400-foot fly ball for the fans at home. Nice souvenir for fans for about 3 seconds. Here's a pitch from Schley-Huber. That ball skied once again. Foul. 2-strike count here for Cumulainen. Cumulainen has been really good today. Obviously 2 for 3 with his RBI, but also had a very good previous game where he went 2 for 5. That ball outside for ball 1. Schley-Huber trying to mix up his off-speed pitches with his fastball. Fastball is definitely his best way to go, but he's known for his off-speed. Does throw good off-speed pitches, but his fastball seems to have struggles with finding the zone. Previously mentioned, we have Shea Zena and Troy Brennan up in the pen. Seems like just Troy Brennan is the one who's really warming up. The ball's caught on and missed, and they'll strike him out for out number 1. Great pitch there from Schley-Huber. Schley-Huber, nice high tight fastball. Was able to force Cumulainen to get out in front of it to retire him. Here comes the first baseman, Arlo Pike. He's 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Schley-Huber just trying to get out of this without allowing much damage at all. First pitch is fouled back. Schley-Huber Obviously showing his fastball, which has struggles with the command on his fastball. What is really good is his off-speed pitches. Does show good off-speed pitches. Problem is they never really end out in the zone. A lot of them force hitters to chase. You just saw there the fastball. They're saying it hit Pike, and now we have a runner on first for Cam Seymour.
Designated hitter number 34, Cam Seymour.
Cam Seymour, 0 for 3 on the day. Definitely, like we mentioned, power hitter. 6 home runs on the season. Has had his own troubles today, but he did have that one hit in game number 1, which was a 2 RBI double. Cam Seymour waits, and that ball's high for ball 1. I expect Pike to take a little bit of a lead off first, but I don't expect him to move much. Schlehuber checks over at first. Guns it over the plate, and that ball is just inside for ball number 2. Coach Bud is heading out to the mound. Doesn't seem like a reliever is coming in just yet. I think it's just to talk over, make sure after 2 straight balls that his pitcher's fine, feeling good. Maybe go over some game plan. Runner on first, maybe try and get a ground ball, force a double play. Obviously you have 1 out. Want to keep this ball as high as you can. It's tough to hit a ball in the air when you have high fastball. But if you're going to go high off speed, you want to make if you're going to go off speed, you want to make sure it's in the dirt. The hardest pitches to hit is off speed in the dirt to force a ground ball. Most of the time, but if it's fastball in the dirt, it might get in, not in the dirt, but low fastball. It might result in kind of a pop fly. Shout out Michael Lupo for the way I know baseball. First pitch. Next pitch is outside for ball 3. 3-0 count here for Schlehuber. Just trying to mix some pitches, make things work. And here's the pitch, and that ball is in for strike 1. Try and battle back after being down 3-0 in the count. On this senior day, you know, it has been good. Obviously, the first game could be ignored. That ball's high, and that will walk Cam Seymour. Huskies now have a runner on first and second, with 1 out for Jonathan Wilson. Jonathan Wilson is 2 for 3 in this game with an RBI, and he went 0 for 4 in the previous game, in game 1 of this doubleheader. Huskies have 10 hits on the day to the Owls 6, and they also have 6 runs to the Owls 4. Here's the pitch from Schlehuber. Now is in for a strike. Ball is into the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 count, 1 out. Runner on first and second. Schlehuber just trying to get out of this jam. The pitch is very much high for ball 2. Catcher trying to say some words to Schlehuber, maybe try and cool him down a little bit. Schlehuber throwing many balls in this inning, up to 21 on the pitch count. He started with 9. It's up to 12 pitches in this inning. Ball in the dirt for ball 3. 3-1 count. The last thing you want here is to load the bases for Anthony Poole, who is 2 for 3 on the day. He is on deck for the Huskies. Schlehuber have some confidence on the mound. Maybe throw his fastball a lot more. Here's the pitch. That ball was a fastball, and it was fouled off. Full count here with 1 out. No runner should be moving here. You do not want to throw this on the outside part of the plate at all. You want to try and get as much as you can and try and get a strike here. You do not want to load the bases in this scenario. Here's the pitch. That ball's in the dirt, and the bases are loaded for Anthony Poole. Coach Blood is now on his walk to the mound. And I suspect that would be it for Schlehuber. And it seems like fan favorite is walking on the field. Shea Zena is on to pitch for the Owls. And we'll be right back with you for this pitching change on the Owls Media Network.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge. I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
We are back in this pitching change. It's Shea Zena out on the mound, 6.55 ERA in his 12 appearances. He has 19 strikeouts, 20 walks, 16 earned runs. He's also occasionally plays right field. He has started a game for this Owls team, and is personally one of my favorite players on this Owls team due to that flow going out the back of the hat. Respect any player who has a bit of style to them. Shea Zena, very much used as a closer for this Owls team. And I've seen him used as a closer plenty of times. He has been consistent for this Owls team. He has had his fair share of struggles against teams like UMass Boston, and he gave the ump the go-ahead. But he comes up in a very tough scenario, bases loaded with one out for one of the better hitters on this Husky team, Anthony Poole. Anthony Poole is 2 for 3 on the day. Did have a strikeout, but he's one of the main reasons why they do have 6 runs. His on-base skills versus his contact is equally as good, and he has been great so far today in both games, Game 1 of the doubleheader and Game 2, as that pitch is in for a strike. Shea Zena showing a lot of his fastball. Implements off-speed when he needs to. He can entirely possibly do so. That ball is ground over to third, just gets over Chatfield's glove. The Huskies will score 1. Rounding third, he's heading home, and the Huskies will score 2 to take an 8-4 lead on an Anthony Poole single. Big at-bat there for Anthony Poole with his 3rd hit on the day with a 2 RBI single. Now on to bat, Yannick Luxa. Luxa is 0 for 3 on the day with an RBI sacrifice fly. The Owls now down 4. That ball is foul, tipped into the stomach of Evan Callie. Callie is down. As someone who's experienced that before, it really much hurts. That ball gets foul tipped off the bat. The chest protection, I think it just went underneath his chest protection. It hit him right in the lower stomach. Trainers coming over to make sure, see if Evan Callie is okay. I don't see the alternative catcher Conley putting on catcher. I don't see him yet putting on catcher's gear. They're hoping Callie is seemingly good to go. Considering Conley caught the first game. I assume they'd go Baker, but nope, it seems like Callie got up and he seems fine. No one is putting on catcher's gear just yet. Tough hit there for Evan Callie, who got up and he seems fine. We are now back to action. Luxa up to the dish. Oh, 0-1 count. And Shazina winding up for the pitch. Here's the pitch, and that ball is cut on towards right field. Ian does have a beat on it. He'll make the play. Runner teases off second, but does not go. Runner on first and second, now with 2 out. As Visosky heading up to the dish, 2 for 4 on the day, and has an opportunity for an RBI, considering there is speed on the base pads on first and second. Visosky, the right fielder, has played significantly well. 2 for 4 in today's game and went 3 for 4 in the game 1 of this doubleheader. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. 2 men on, 2 men out. In the top of the 7th inning. Zena up to 4 pitches. Zena waiting for the call. And here's the pitch. The ball's in the dirt for ball 2. Shazina trying to find the plate right now. Shazina just trying to cook, see if he can get the batter out. Batter grounds over to Chatfield. Chatfield gets a hold of it, throws it over to first, but it gets past beyond. The runner rounds third, he heads home, and that'll be another run for the Huskies, up to 9-4. Tough break there. Chatfield unable to get a hold of it there. Took an awkward fielding hop. Was able to get the ball out of the glove, just wasn't a good enough throw over to be on at first.
Left fielder number 10, Rogan Searle Belanger.
Here's the pitch from Zena. That ball's high for ball number 1. Belanger is 0 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Ball is way inside for the second ball. 2-0 count, 2 out, man on third and second. 9-4 game. Huskies with 11 hits now, and the Owls with 6. Pitch from Shazina. Ball's in there for a strike. Zena just trying to work out of this hole. Got to talk about how good the Huskies' offense has been. That ball is cut on and missed. 2-2 count, 2 out. This Huskies' offense has been amazing, especially scoring 6 runs last game, allowing 0. In this game, cut on and missed. That'll strike him out. As the Huskies are retired, we'll be back with you in the bottom of the 7th on the Owls Media Network.
College sports fans, get ready for game day with officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop, ncaa.com/shop. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headwear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at ncaa.com/shop.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, It's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Clay Robbins is still out on the mound for this Huskies team. Up to 80 pitches through 6.5 innings. Evan McHugh due up 0 for 2 on the day. Owls just trying to claw back from a 5-run deficit, which is entirely a possibility. I mean, if they can get the runners on the base pads, they will hit the top of the lineup where Ehlers, who went yard in one of his previous at-bats. Here's Evan McHugh. Here's a pitch from Robbins. That ball is outside for ball 1. McHugh batting probably around 230 on the season here. Ball is in for strike 1. 1-1 count. Minor, it's 9-4 Huskies. Here's the pitch, and that ball is just inside for a ball. 2-1 count here for the Owls. Pitch is in, that'll be outside, 3-1. The Huskies do have an arm warming up in the bullpen. Seeing if Robbins, that ball goes way under Evan McHugh, has to do a little hop. But he will take first base. So now we got Evan Calley, who was hit with a ricocheted foul ball in the previous inning, who they're hoping that he is most definitely okay, especially for this at-bat. He is 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. McHugh trying to, definitely feeling the impact from that pitch. He's now on the ground there. McHugh is a very good defensive shortstop, has had his fair share of struggles at the plate so far this season, but he, of course, was forced to walk there along doing his frog hop, which jumped over the pitch. He might have landed wrong. Trainer checking in to check his ankle. Evan Calley is due up. He has he's in the rotation for the catchers, which are also used out of the bullpen. My personal favorite use of what Coach Blood with their catching rotation. They just want to make sure that McHugh is all right, considering he's on first. They need a base runner clearly right now to try and score another run in the bottom of the 7th. Make sure he's okay. He seems all right. McHugh's going for a little run and make sure his ankle is good. He seems fine. Coach Bubba's just making sure. All right. Evan Calley due up. Robbins ready to pitch. Now a pitch has been thrown this at bat. 0-0 count. 1 man on. What an opportunity Calley has here to possibly drive in another run. And here's a pitch from Robbins. He bunt laid by Calley. Throws over to first. Gets Calley, but the runner does advance to second. Good play there from Doohan to get the runner at first.
The left fielder, number 2, Mark Barrett.
Lucas Francis is up in the bullpen for Southern Maine. Mark Barrett is up to the dish. 1 for 2 on the day. Had a strikeout, but now he's in the prime opportunity to drive in a run. Driving the run from second. The ball's in the dirt for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Robbins. That ball is just outside for ball number 2. 1 on, 1 out for the Owls here. Mark Berry's cut on, but it'll go foul. Here's oncoming pitch from Robbins, who's just trying to work his way out of this little bit of a jam he's in. Ball is outside. 3-1 count here for Mark Barrett. This is the patience we were looking for from the Owls offense since the first game. Just waiting for their pitch to pop up, see if they can make a play on it. It's a pitch and that ball is just inside. Mark Barrett will take a walk. Owls now have first and second for a man who hit the ball over that 385 sign. Over in left field, Tommy Ehlers, 2 for 3 on the day, 2 RBIs. And the Huskies are taking out Clay Robbins. I assume they're going to go Lucas Francis out of the bullpen. We'll be back with you with this mound visit and replacement pitcher, and we'll be right back with you on the Owls Media Network.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Lucas Francis is now on the mound. And Lucas Francis' 18 appearances, 5.63 ERA. His 32 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, and 20 earned runs. Sidearm pitcher, my personal favorite kind of pitchers, because kind of unorthodox. You never see sidearm pitchers much nowadays. But when you're in the college level, you see it plenty. It's more, unless sidearm, it's more submarine. Submarine pitchers are known for being some of the toughest to hit. You don't see really any submarine pitchers nowadays. There's only a couple in the majors. There's a difference between the sidearm and the submarine pitchers. Sidearm pitchers release it more on the upper towards the pecs, and the submarine pitchers releases it more towards the hip or the knee sometimes. There's a pitcher in the majors a while ago, played for the A's, who would throw the ball when his arm was near at the ground. But obviously we're not in the majors today, but here's Tommy Ehlers is due up, 2 for 3 on the day, 2 RBIs. Hit a long one over the 385 sign earlier in this game. Lucas Francis. It's tough when you're a submarine pitcher to really try and get that off-speed going. So it's mainly the fastball and changeup is what you're mainly looking for if you're a submarine pitcher and if you're hitting. That ball is hit foul. Left side. Now 0-1 count, 1 out, 2 men on. Good opportunity here for Tommy Ehlers. Ehlers slices that one over to third. Throws it over to first. But it'll be be bobbled and sent over the first baseman's head. Mark Bennett's rounding third. He's heading home. Throw is not there. The Owls get a runner. Tommy Ehlers goes to third. Another opportunity. An error. That was an error from Owen. Was able to get the runner out at third when he stepped on the mound. But now Hamilton Barnes has an amazing opportunity to possibly drive in another run for this Keene State Owls team. He's 0 for 3 on the day.
Pinch hitting for the Owls, a freshman from East Hampton, Massachusetts, number 19, Otis Follett.
Correction, it is not Hamilton Barnes who will get the opportunity here. It is Otis Follett. Otis Follett started in game 1 at shortstop for this Owls team. In that game, he went 1 for 3. He had one of the Owls' few hits in that game 1. Otis Follett now with a prime opportunity. The ball is swung on, grounded, foul. Obviously, have speed on the base pads here with Tommy Ehlers. 2 out though. So you can't really go for the sacrifice. You got to find a gap here for a base hit. Try and bring in that runner from third. Make it a 3-run game. And here's the pitch. That ball's in for strike number 2. Coach Blood clearly saw the lefty versus righty matchup more favorable than righty versus righty. Ball's out for a ball. Cumulane threatened to throw the ball over to third, but did not. Follett ready at the mound. That ball is passed. Tommy Ehlers is heading home, and the catcher will not be able to get to that ball in time as the Owls drive in a run, not drive in a run, but Tommy Ehlers comes in to score, makes it 9-6 Huskies. Lucas Francis throws a wild pitch. Bring that runner home from third. Now Fall just has to get on base to possibly bring up Chatfield. That ball is grounded over towards Francis, who will just toss it over to first baseman Pike, which will retire the Owls. Nice 2 runs from the Owls there to make it 9-6. And we'll be right back with you in the top of the 8th on the Owls Media Network.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest.
Welcome back on the Owls Media Network. Shea Zena is back out on the mound to try and not allow a run in the top of the 8th. Kyle Doan up to the plate. Here's a pitch from Zena. That ball is high for ball 1. Junior Santos takes over at second base for Follett, who replaced Hamilton Barnes in the previous inning. Here's the pitch from Shazina. That ball is grounded. Foul. 1-1 count here for Kyle Dewin. Shazina with a prime opportunity to really try and bring this Owls comeback. The ball's in for strike. Strike number 2. 1-2 count. Quickly. In the top of the 8th, the Owls have a really good opportunity to possibly come back from being down 9-4. Pitch from Shazina. That ball is popped up towards Chatfield. It would go way out for a foul ball. Still a 1-2 count. Pitch is grounded, foul, back towards the Huskies bench. Shazina obviously showing more off speed than fastball, but goes fastball. That one is right down the middle for strike number 3, as that will retire Dewin. Cumulane is now up to the plate. He's 2 for 4 on the day with an RBI. He's another opportunity to possibly give some insurance runs for this Huskies team. They thrive with players on the base pads. That ball is lined over towards Mark Bennett and left. It will go over his head at the wall. Culane walks over to second for a stand-up double. Now they have a runner in scoring position for Arlo Pike. Pike is 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Shazina just trying to get out of this inning without causing any more damage. Well, the Huskies are trying to add some insurance runs for the end of this game. Obviously, they're just in the top of the 8th, but it's easily as impactful as the top of the 9th. Shazina with a pitch. That ball's in for a strike. No close stance from Pike here. Going full swing. Ball is hit, foul. 0-2 count, 1 out. Shazina showing more fastballs since the hit from Cumulane. Cumulane has played very well all of today. The ball is flied up towards center field. Ehlers has a beat on it. He'll make the play. Cumulane doesn't do anything from second. Cam Seymour heading up to the plate, 0 for 3 on the day. In game 1, he went 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. But now he does have a walk today, and now he has an opportunity to drive in a run. He does have 2 out though, man on second. Ball's in the dirt. Culane stays at second. Cumulane has had one heck of a day as a catcher. So he went 2 for 5 in the first game, and has a double in this one, along with a pair of hits. Pitch is high for ball 2. 2-0 count here, 2 out, man on second. Cam Seymour having 6 home runs on the season, highest slugging percentage on this Huskies team. That pitch is sliced up towards deep right field. Ian chasing after, he'll hit the wall. Seymour rounds second. Doesn't round second, he makes it towards second, but Culane scores from third to make it a 10-6 game. What a drive from Seymour. That was I thought that was gone. Surely sounded like it off the bat.
Second baseman, number 8, Jonathan Wilson.
Here's Jonathan Wilson, 2 for 3 in this game with 1 RBI and a walk. But in the first game, he did go 0 for 4. But now he has another opportunity to maybe drive in another run to make it 11-6. That pitch is inside for a ball. Shea Zena just trying to work out of this. Zena's up to 24 in the pitch count. This pitch cut on and missed for strike 1. Zena just trying to bring back the fire that he showed in the first inning that he pitched today. Pitch from Zena. That ball is in for a strike. 1-2 count, 2 out. Shea Zena sets, fires into the dirt. Stopped by Evan Callie behind the plate. 2-2 count. Hair flowing out the back of the cap of Shea Zena. Trying to get out of this. Ball's high for ball 3. 3-2 count, 2 outs. No runner on first, so the runner should not be moving off second. Cam Seymour with a decent lead off second. And here's the pitch. That ball is skied back towards the catcher, but it would go foul. Shea Zena just trying to battle out of this. Runner on second. Full count. 2 outs. Possibly driving the 11th run here for the Huskies. Wilson lines it over towards Chatfield for a base hit. Cam Seymour stays at third. Will not go home. The Huskies now have first and third with 2 out, 4. Anthony Poole, who has had one heck of a game, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. His only out was a strikeout, but
Center fielder, number 12, Anthony Poole.
Anthony Poole has had an amazing day overall today in the doubleheader. He was 3 for 4 in this game, 1 for 3 in the previous game, 4 for 7. Players you Keely want. Anthony Poole also has a stolen base. In this game, that ball is in there for a strike. 0-1 count. You wonder if the Huskies might send the runner at first. Jonathan Wilson does have speed on the base pads. Wilson takes off. They almost... Callie did not throw that, but Callie was wondering maybe they were trying to do what the Owls did to them earlier this game. Throw over to second while the runner comes home, but the runner at third remained at third, did not move a muscle. So it's another stolen base for Jonathan Wilson. Now the Huskies have second and third with 2 outs, and that ball is strike 3 as Shea Zena gets out of that jam. We'll be back with you on the bottom of the 8th on the Owls Media Network.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Lucas Francis is on the mound still. 7 pitches in this game. He has pitched significantly well, but now he has to pitch against one of the better hitters on this Owls team, Jonathan Chatfield, who has had his fair share of struggles in the field today, but has also had his fair share of struggles at the plate. 0 for 3 on the day, 2 strikeouts. Is trying to get on base. He's also dangerous on the base pads. Almost as dangerous as Hamilton Barnes, who was taken out of this game earlier. As the pitch is in. Side for a ball. 1-0 count. And here's the pitch from Francis. The ball's in for a strike. 1-1. Ball is inside for ball number 2. Chatfield is trying to get on base, see if the Owls can rally. Down by 4. That ball is sliced out towards center field, but Poolish has a beat under it, and he'll make the play. That'll be the first out. In comes Josh Beyond, the first baseman. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Josh Beyond also is trying to get on base pads. Brendan Eaton is on deck. Cut on and miss for strike 1. Here's a second pitch from the Submarine pitcher Francis. That ball's outside. Tied 1-1 count. Lucas Francis is an interesting pitcher. Out of the bullpen, one of their better arms. And how difficult to hit that Submarine pitcher is beyond. Fouls that one off to make it a 2-strike count. 1-2, 1 out. In the bottom of the 8th. Pitch drives. That one's fouled off. Beyond staying alive. Here's the pitch. The ball is skied. Foul off once again. Francis up to 12 pitches. Beyond fighting to stay alive in this at-bat. The patience on Beyond is key. Key for this Owls team. Try and get on base. Trying to make some magic happen. Here's the pitch, and that one is skied over towards left center field. Camps under it is Belanger, and he'll make the play.
The right fielder, number 25,
Brendan Eaton up to the dish. 1 for 3 on the day. Definitely one of their better contact guys in this lineup. Batting .282 on the season. .350 slugging percentage. And has his own triple. That ball's in for a strike. Brendan Eaton lining up. Ready for the cut on and miss for strike 2. A large hack there from Brendan Eaton. Francis sets, fires, cut on and miss, and he'll strike out Brendan Eaton. And the Owls side is retired. We'll be back to on the top of the 9th on the Owls Media Network.
College sports fans, get ready for game day with officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop, ncaa.com/shop. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headwear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at ncaa.com/shop.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Shea Zena still out on the mound, 34 pitches. Coach Blood showing a great amount of confidence that Shea Zena can close this out without causing any more damage. They do have an arm warming up in the bullpen. Sean Brennan, just in case Shea Zena can't hold it here. Up to the plate.
The shortstop, number 9,
Yannick Luxa. Hitting up to the dish, 0 for 4 in the day, but had a sacrifice fly in his 1 RBI. Shea Zena with the pitch, and that ball's high for ball 1. And here's the pitch from Shea Zena. That ball's in for a strike. Shea Zena showing a lot more confidence in his pitches. Not really being secured considering there's no runners on base. He has free roam to throw anything. Here's the pitch. That ball's high for ball 2. 10-6 game for this. Huskies are winning by 4 in the top of the 9th. Owls just trying to go out of this without causing any more damage, while the Huskies are trying to add more insurance runs just in case the Owls want to go on a comeback. The ball's fouled off for a 2-2 count. Not out. Shea Zena showing a lot more patience. Waiting. Luxa waiting for his pitch. And here's the pitch. Ball's cut on and miss. He'll strike him out. Shea Zena not showing any fatigue from coming out of the bullpen. Visosky is now coming up. He's 2 for 5 on the day. 2 for 5 this game. Went 3 for 4 in the previous game. 5 for 9. Very impressive day for Tom Visosky. Shea Zena fires. That ball's fouled off. Can he get out of this inning without allowing any more runs? Stay tuned. Here's the pitch. That ball's way outside for ball 1. She's looking to get out of this 1-1 count. The ball is ground over towards Chatfield. Chatfield grounds it. Throws it over to Beyond. Beyond goes full extension to get him at first. What a stretch from Beyond. Not the best throw from Chatfield, but was able to get him. That's 2 out.
The left fielder, number 10, Brogan Searle Belanger.
Searle Belanger up to the plate. 0 for 4 in the day. Does have an RBI. Can he get on base to possibly add more insurance runs for this Huskies team? And it's definitely his goal heading up to the base pads. Cut on and miss for strike 1. Huskies have it on warming up in the bullpen just in case. Ball was high for ball 1. Shizina throwing a lot more of his fastball this inning, which has been way more effective than in a previous inning. And here's the pitch. That ball skied over towards first base, but it will go foul. 1-2 count, 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Owls looking to hang on, possibly amount a great comeback on this senior day and the Owls' last home game of the season. The pitch is in the dirt for ball 2. Umpire coming over to throw the ball over towards Zena. Shea Zena with the hair flowing out the back of the cap. Like to mention that. Not many players do that on this baseball team, but one of my favorite things in sports. Let the hair flow. Zena with the pitch. That ball is fouled off. Staying alive. Belanger's trying to make contact. Opens up his stance a lot more. Possibly going for a much larger swing to try and get him in scoring position. The pitch is in there for strike 3, and that will retire Belanger. The Owls go on to the bottom of the 9th to try and mount a comeback. And we'll see on the Owls Media Network.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
We're back on the Owls Media Network. Some substitutions here. Into bat, Trent Mayer batting .250 on the season. 2 RBIs. Subs in for the DH Malik Pearson. And also substitute pitcher for the Huskies, Matt Burnett. Matt Burnett comes into this appearance with 15 appearances under his belt. And in those 15 appearances, 7.31 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 23 earned runs. We have on this pitcher, a lot of velocity on his fastball. Also tries to incorporate a little bit of his changeup. That fastball is very tough to hit, though. Goes full extension to try and get as much speed that he possibly can. Trent Mayer now up to the plate. See if he can start off a nice rally for the Owls. Starting off this rally could be huge for this Owls momentum. They have lost Now 10 in a row and on the verge of losing 11. Can they bounce back? Can they possibly make this a 10-10 game or maybe even win it? Well, we'll have to see. Fastball in for a strike. Matt Burnett showing the velocity on his fastball. The ball in for another strike, showing another quick pitch there by Burnett. Quickly down 0-2. Here's the pitch, and that one is just outside for ball 1. 1-2 count. Cut on and miss, and that was strikeout Mayer for the first down in the bottom of the 9th. Evan McHugh up to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day.
The shortstop, number 20, Evan McHugh.
Ball's outside for a ball 1. Here's the pitch, and that was in for strike 1. 1-1 count. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Cut on and miss. 1-2 count. Owls need to have a more patience at the dish right now. Wait for your pitches. They need to get on base. The ball's just outside for ball 2. Pitch is in the dirt for ball 3. McHugh has worked this up to a full count. Burnett showing a lot of confidence in his fastball. Don't believe he's even thrown an off-speed pitch yet. Another fastball grounded over towards second is Wilson. Throws it over to first. Will get McHugh. Second out of the inning. Owls are down to their last out. It's on the back of catcher Evan Calley. Evan Calley comes up to the dish. Has to have an opportunity to get on base. That ball is hit foul. Here's the pitch from Burnett. Ball. Burnett deals fastball. That ball is skied over towards left field. Belanger gets under it, and he'll make the play, and that will do it here. Huskies win this game 10-6. We'll be back with you with a coach interview from Coach Blood. The Owls dropped the double header, lose both games, and that'll do it here on the Owls Media Network.
Oh man, dude, I'm drawing a blank. I'm pretty stumped right now.
Oh my God, this is driving me crazy. Hi, I'm Brendan Muse.
And I'm Nate Hudson.
And we're here to play What Do You Know?
Start 2022.
Pablo Sandoval is one of them. Ben Zobrist is one of them. Jeremy Pena was this year.
Who's the guy from the Red Sox that won?
Did Poppy have one? Poppy? Is that 20? Did he have one? 20?
He did, yeah. Let's see.
Was Altuve in 2017? Correa? Or Bregman? That's what I'm trying to think right now too. What's the guy in the Cardinals? He hit that big home run.
I know. Wait.
David Freese?
Wasn't it?
I don't know.
Not Will Smith. Oh man, dude, I'm drawing a blank. I'm pretty stumped right now.
Was Posey ever one for the Giants? Oh, Madison Bumgarner. I don't know how I didn't think of that one. Eric Hosmer. Oh, it wasn't him.
Corey Seager.
Oh, that's
Okay,
who it was.
that's the Dodgers.
That's who it was. Oh, it was the closer.
For who?
For the Royals, I think. Davis. Yuli Gurriel.
17, was it it wasn't a pitcher, was it?
I said the whole infield.
Did you say pitcher? Any pitchers?
Dallas Keuchel.
Can't believe I can't think of the Red Sox one.
From when?
I got the Poppy one, but then it was
2018?
Yeah.
It wasn't Mookie.
No, it wasn't like a big name. What's his name?
Who's the Nats MVP?
What year was that?
2019. Who was on the Red Sox team?
Dude, it's like he doesn't play there anymore. He wasn't there for too long. And it's, oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy.
What did he play? What position was it?
I wanna say outfield.
This Astros one's driving me crazy, dude. I feel like I should know this. Michael Brantley? Oh wait, was it George Springer? That's who. I don't know how I didn't know how I didn't get that one. Oh, Jorge Soler.
For who?
The Braves. I just realized we didn't even say that one. Oh my God, this is driving me crazy. The Nats one.
What year was it?
29.
Wasn't Soto.
No, yeah, 2019. No, it wasn't Soto. He hit that Oppo home run like right in Houston, like Game 7. I think that's who won it.
Call it. I'm not gonna think of it myself.
I'm not gonna get the name yet at this point.
Who was the Red Sox one?
Red Sox won in 2018.
Steve Pierce. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I wouldn't have got that. But
Who was the Nats? Oh, it was Strasburg? Oh. I thought it was, never mind, I thought it was someone else. I wouldn't have gotten that one. I almost said Salvador Perez. I didn't think it was him.
Fenway Park.
Yankee Stadium, Tropicana Field, Camden Yards, Rogers Center. That's the whole.
Yeah.
That's the whole AL East. Let's do NL Central. That one's easy. Wrigley, Busch Stadium. I know it just got changed, but it was Miller Park. PNC. And then who else is in the three that I'm missing? Reds. What is the Reds?
This is not good.
I feel like I should know this one too. It's like Great American Park or something like that. What's
What's in that? What's that?
City Field.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's Phillies? I don't even know if I know that.
Should have done a little bit more studying before this, I guess.
I'll just knock out two real quick. Globe Life Field, Minute Maid Park, Dodger Stadium, Petco Park. They just changed San Francisco's. Wasn't it, San Francisco used to be AT&T, Safeco Field, Oakland Coliseum. I'm trying to think of who I haven't said. Angels? Is it just Angel Stadium? Rockies. Coors Field. Chase Field. Is the Marlins Stadium just called Marlins Park? Dale Central. Oh, Progressive Field. Is Minnesota still Target Field? White Sox. Oh man, they just changed that one too. It's like some like cell service provider.
Yeah, it's AT&T.
No, it's not.
Sprint?
No, it's like something like not as like well known. Oh, isn't it just U.S. Cellular? Oh, they changed it again? Oh, Kaufman Stadium. Don't know how I didn't get that in the beginning, but Nats Park. Huh. I should have known that.
man.
I should have known that one.
Detroit Tigers. It looks like the only other one we have left was Truist Park for the Braves.
We got Tommy Ehlers. We got
David Floyd.
the Brennan twins, Troy and Sean. Otis. We got Kyle Pilardi. We got Hamilton Barnes, Evan McHugh. We
Joe
got,
Schluber.
we got St. July.
Brandon St. Hilaire. Dan Kintafi.
Yeah. I know everybody. I don't feel bad if I. Oh, who else?
Chatfield.
Jonathan Chatfield. Oh, Ryan Mooney.
Callie.
Evan Callie. Cameron Baker. Alec Verano. Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God! Yeah,
That's
dude, I don't know how. Yeah.
Oh, we got Shea.
Oh,
Shea
Zena. Okay. Yeah.
Sophomore. Bryce Waldron.
Oh, Quinn.
Quinn.
Barton. Yakum. Jake Yakum. Oh, Emmett Bornstein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Took some work.
Yeah.
Back here at the Owl Athletic Complex, where Southern Maine has swept the doubleheader against Keene State as part of Senior Day here in the Monadnock Valley. Sports Information Assistant Nick Landy here, joined by the head coach of the Keene State baseball team, Justin Blood. Justin, tough day for the team, especially for the seniors. It especially seemed like in that second game there's an opportunity to break through and take over that game, but that just didn't seem to be the case for today. What were your biggest takeaways from both games?
I thought David Floyd, didn't do a bad job. Just didn't trust his fastball enough in the first game. Gave up some hard contact on off-speed pitches. We really need to try to get our pitchers to believe in and execute fastballs better. We may not have above average fastballs, but Dave probably has our best fastball on the team, and we need guys like that to be a little more aggressive and execute. And when he did, he performed better and had some quicker innings. And then I thought Yakum, second game, error on the first play, and then just boom, 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 all of a sudden 4-0. That game could have really gotten away, and I thought Jake did a good job settling in and giving us some length. And so, look, obviously frustrating, not what we were hoping for. I just talked with the team about really just staying committed to what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to accomplish long term. We're obviously still short from where we want and need to be, and we need more to fill in some more gaps talent wise. We are still going through the battle of being inexperienced and not having lived in pressure moments against a perennial power in the league, and just you see it left and right in these games where we're just not responding the way we need to in the long run. So I thought another big thing today was, especially in the second game, as you alluded to, we couldn't get a shutdown inning. We scored some runs, fought back, and then we really needed in the middle of the game needed a couple shutdown innings from our pitchers, and they were able to answer right back and get the lead and then extend the lead. So needed a big shutdown inning for sure.
And talking more about Jake Yakum specifically, he's someone who had a really great start to the season. He seemed to be a guy that opposing hitters had a really hard time figuring out, but in the last couple of appearances for him, hitters have been getting more hard contact against him, been able to get more runs across the plate against him. What adjustments are you seeing opposing teams making against him, and what adjustments do you think Jake needs to make in order to get back to that form that he had at the start of the season?
Well, it's about adjustments. There's so many videos available now and scouting reports available and software that will give you statistics of, right down to, he's 50-50 off speed in this count, or he's 75% fastballs in this count. So there's a ton of information out there. And if an opposing team has that information and then they can apply it, give that scouting report to the lineup and then apply it in the game, it can give you a good chance of success. And, I think for Jake, what he's seeing, as a lot of our freshmen have seen, they have early success, and then people start to adjust. They start to figure out, okay, this is his strength. This is where, Chatfield's a good example too. He hasn't performed the way that he's wanted to in the last maybe week, and a lot of it's just because there's more information. Tommy Ehlers, look at the shifts that they've got on Tommy Ehlers. Like, everybody knows where he's hitting the ball. Everybody knows what pitches we're hitting. The best players in any level, any league, are the ones that know their strengths, apply their strengths really well, and then when people adjust to work against those strengths, they can adjust, and they can adjust quickly. It's pitch to pitch, at bat to bat, not 4 games and then make an adjustment. It's one at bat to the next, they can make an adjustment. So again, that's just experience, and high level players can do those things.
And then on the opposing side, Southern Maine had a shutout thrown by Bryce Afton, and one of the biggest things with him is that he really picked up the pace, threw a lot of quick pitches, did not wait between pitches to get the next one off. And even with the last pitcher Southern Maine had in the second game, Matt Burnett, he also was going very quickly on the mound. How we've now almost completed this season, you've gotten to see a lot of different pitchers going at a lot of different paces. How do you feel like your hitters have done it in at least preparing to face these different types of pitchers and the different types of paces they bring, especially the more quicker ones like the ones we saw today?
I think the pace is one thing. when you have good pace and you're executing pitches, we have some guys that want to work quick, but if they're not executing pitches, then it doesn't look quite the same, right? But Afton he's an all-league guy. He's been a LEC all conference guy in the past, and very good pitcher for them. And Burnett was impressive, and when you're working quickly and you're landing pitches, that's something that offensively, we need to try to disrupt that rhythm a little bit. But you can see it at the big league level too. I mean, the changes to the rules in the game, they're not really allowing you to do that so much as much as we used to be able to. So you can't ask for time anymore. It's an offensive conference. So it does make it challenging if the pitcher is executing. So that's a great weapon. We saw, you remember Worcester State, I think it was, they had a pitcher down in Myrtle that did a great job. He just kept coming right at us, or maybe Framingham State. So there's not a whole lot with the rules that are in place now that a hitter can do, other than you better be in that box ready to go. And if anything, if it feels like things are quick and speeding up on you, then you need to simplify what you're doing physically and mentally at the plate so that you can give yourself a chance to be on time. And that's a big teaching phrase that keeps coming up, or teaching comments that keep coming up of, we have things we want to do, but depending on the opposition, depending on the game situation, there's things you need to do, and they don't always line up. And the best players, the best teams can morph. They can morph throughout the game and do what the game dictates, especially if a team is able to shut down your strengths.
A couple more questions here with Justin Blood, the head coach of the Keene State baseball team. Justin, you mentioned this in your first response about how your team struggled to get some shutout innings after coming back to tie the game in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. And we've seen some instances where your team has been able to fight back and bring it within run or two, even tie the game earlier in the season, but then usually right after that, the other team is able to rattle off a couple more runs and able to just pull away at the end. And on one hand, you have a pitching staff that's been struggling to get those shutout innings, but on the other hand, you also have an offense that after getting 3 or 4 runs in that inning to fight back, they just seem to go cold again instead of able to continue that momentum forward. What is it going to take for the offense to be able to sustain that momentum throughout the rest of the game after finally breaking through?
I think a lot of it's pressing. Again, it's inexperience. It's the just pressure kind of mounting on guys. I don't know what we're at now, 11 straight losses, whatever it is. 3 weeks ago when we were scoring a bunch of runs and we were, on a 4 or 5 game win streak, no one was asking these questions, right? So we've been on a skid now, and it's going to take sometimes things you don't even control. A couple random good calls from the umpire, even the umpires today. It feels like when we need to catch a break and get a call, we're not getting it. When we need to get a bounce, we haven't gotten it. Some of those things you make for yourself. Some of them, you need the world. I joke with the guys all the time, like, are we living right? If you're living right, you tend to get the right hops. And for a part of the season, we were living right, and we were getting some calls, and we were getting some big knocks when we needed them, and getting the right hops and double plays. We were turning a ton of double plays early on in the season. We can't seem to buy a double play right now. So it's just the ebbs and flows of the game. It's one of the reasons why baseball, you don't just play 1 game a week. You play 3, 4, 5, 6 games a week, because things can change quickly, and when they go right, they seem to go right for a while. And right now, we need to try to stop this wrong and see if we can get some sort of positive momentum. And we'll obviously have another good opponent to try to do that against on Tuesday against Eastern. But at this point, everybody we're playing is pretty good. You gotta do something we haven't done in the last 2 weeks, and make a big play, make a big pitch, get a big hit. There's no secret sauce to this. You just keep working and hope that somebody can accomplish one of those feats.
And finally, obviously today being senior day as well, had a nice ceremony before the first game, getting to recognize the seniors you've gone to work with the past couple of seasons since you came here to Keene State. Obviously their story is still not complete. As you mentioned, there's still 3 games remaining left in the regular season, so a lot to still be determined with this team. But ultimately, how should this group of seniors be remembered here at Keene State?
I just told them in the huddle that they, make sure that however long, this remaining stretch is, and I don't know what happened in the other games today, so I don't know what realistic chance we still have or don't have to get in the tournament. But, I said, look, you got a certain amount of time left. Keep doing what you have done for the last year and a half, and they've set a great example. They've done a great job in the classroom. They've been very willing to go out in the community and engage. When we were talking with Bob Simpson before the game about his donation for the batting cages, Malik Pearson and Mark Barrett were 2 guys that just randomly happened to be here the day Bob came for a visit with me. And I said, look, it might have been his interaction with them that got us the donation, not me, because he was very impressed by their willingness to come and introduce themselves and talk to him, and he got a good feel from them. So, I think this senior group, gone through COVID, they've gone through struggles on the field, the coaching change. They've had a lot, and they probably feel like not many bounces have gone their way, and but I think that they have done a really good job of trying to impact the program positively and lay some groundwork and foundation for the future. And they've done a good job with a very big freshman class this year, just kind of showing them the way and how we want to represent ourselves. So, oftentimes the people that change things, get it going in the right direction, they don't get the trophies. They don't necessarily win the championships, but these guys, when we get to that point, they'll have definitely played a big part in that.
Hopefully their story will have a happy ending next week. Justin, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's head coach Justin Blair of the Keene State baseball team. We will be back to wrap things up from the Owl Athletic Complex right after this.
Our campus can get pretty quiet during the summer when most students are home, but that doesn't mean it's completely empty. Students are working and learning here year-round. There's tour guides and student workers like me, and students are interning all over the Monadnock region. Many of our majors require hands-on learning, and our students are working as reporters, videographers, environmental advocates, and scientific researchers to gain experience. Here's a look at what's happening right here in our city this summer.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I want to thank you all for watching this game between Southern Maine and the Keene State Owls. Just want to let you know that there are 3 away games left against Eastern Connecticut and a doubleheader against UMass Dartmouth. Those games are away. You can stay tuned on the results of those games on the Keene State Owls website and any Keene State Owls website. You can stay tuned. There is women's lacrosse and women's softball. You can stay tuned on the Owls Media Network and the Keene State Owls YouTube channel. Thank you all, and good night.
You have been watching a Keene State Athletics broadcast on the Owls Media Network. Please tune in to our next broadcast, and thank you for watching.